Welcome back, Saints Nation. I'm your host, Theo, known as the Holy One. Today I'm joined by Gabriel, and today we have some St. Clair League of Legends action. It's our academy team. They're going to be taking on Cambellsville University in the NACE Varsity Plus Grand Final. So, the final game of the season for NACE for them here, and it should
Yep.
be an exciting one. What are your thoughts?
It'll be a really exciting one. Just like they've been playing this whole time, right? So they've been getting better at the game, learning the meta. It's the last game before the new season will come out, right? Or the preseason will come out. So we're gonna have a bunch of map changes after that. So they're really like on the last patch, right? I believe Cassante got nerfed. Yes, Cassante got nerfed. Please don't buff Cassante. Briar got nerfed too, right? So they're like they finally have all the variables that are going to be in the last of this season, and now they're going to place them, they're going to apply them, and they're going to try and win as much as possible.
Without a doubt, it should be a very exciting series. It is the finals. It is the best teams left, and they've been getting better and better throughout the season, so it won't be easy. But what do you think each team needs to do to win this matchup?
All right, so from what I can tell here, I mean, you have your standard prio picks, right? The Syndra are really strong right now. The Orianna are really strong right now. Jace is, well, always strong. We could probably see something like a Briar. I know she did get nerfed, but her healing is still ludicrous. So pretty much with any of her builds, she is very strong. I know the Bruiser build is more prioritized in higher levels of play just because of that extra durability that she has. I love going full glass cannon, full crit, and just it's so satisfying. But it's not very viable when it comes to team play. We're probably going to be seeing a lot of like heavy auto attackers, right? So I think the Jinx is a possibility, but the ones that are always prevalent, so the Xayah, the Kai'Sa, they're just always going to be there in the bot lane. So yeah, if we look at the patch notes here, right, J4 got his nerf. Of course, he's still pretty strong, right, because of the his ability haste is just insane. Cassante the nerfs, very, very, very thankful for those because he's still busted, don't get me wrong, but less busted than he used to be. Briar did get nerfed. It was a hit to her healing, I believe, on her W, which was kind of too small to really make an effect, right? It was 1% loss in terms of missing health damage, but most of the time, she just heals insane amounts anyways, right? So 1%, don't get me wrong, when she's chomping on something like a tank, it's going to deal a lot more, a lot less damage, right, to like finish off the tank. But at the end of the day, 1% health isn't going to stop her from one-shotting the ADC. Then again, nothing is, because everybody one-shots the ADC. The Naafiri nerfs here for her top lane and her mid, which were kind of like unseen. Granted,
Just random,
yeah, probably just small things. I didn't really check up on Naafiri. That is my bad. Ziggs in the bot lane got nerfed because, as we all know, mages are heading to ADC roles because they want to play ADC now. And,
Yep.
I mean, mages just have a better neutral game in general, right?
Without a doubt. But for the buffs, we got Draven. Very, very strong pick throughout all of League of Legends, basically.
Yeah.
Basically more of a bit of a niche pick, getting some buffs. So we could see it. We could always see it picked. It's like a pocket pick, basically. If you want to go really aggressive with a team comp, you lock in that Draven.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you got some Janna buffs. Support that you barely see, but it could be picked in some very, very certain scenarios. Getting that buffs over to her might make her more viable. Riven in the top lane just...
Yeah, this one was terrifying,
Yeah.
actually. They increased her
Crazy
AD
buffs.
scaling on her Q,
Yeah.
which is very, very spooky. Don't get me wrong, I'm in silver, so I don't see her. But, like, for those higher levels of play
She's
where
good.
you have Riven 1 tricks, that is terrifying.
Yeah, she's very, very strong and getting even stronger. Such a high skill champion. If you can just figure her out, especially with these new buffs, will be a dangerous one up in that top lane. And then in the jungle, we got a Trundle buff. Just trying to get him a bit more around the map. He's struggling right now because he doesn't have any real engage. Yes, he can chomp down tanks, but he just gets kited by the current meta. So it's not the best for him. And last but not least, the Vel'Koz buffs, the Vel'Koz community made a movement, and now their champion is getting a bit stronger.
Yeah, definitely. Although, I have to say, as someone who played a little bit of the PBE, I don't play much of Vel'Koz, but I did try him out on PBE since you get all the champions, right? And his W on the PBE, is like airborne,
Yeah.
is so much faster than on his on like the current patch. So the Vel'Koz community is in for a treat when Season 14
Nice.
comes around. Oh, then again, just generally speaking, when it comes to mages with the new items, mages are terrifying in the next season. So we're going to be seeing a lot of those coming out in the future. But for now, while mages aren't overpowered, we're going to be seeing some pretty interesting games. What are your thoughts? What are the picks you're going to see?
Well, I remember last time I casted our academy team, they whipped out the Brand Jungle and they won that game. So, you know, Brand Jungle rising in popularity as of late on a lot of servers. It could be something that we see our St. Clair Saints pick up.
Yeah, the Brumble, I don't know, they just call it that in the patch notes, but Brand Jungle is definitely something that's kind of, well, it's kind of another rel situation where they said, you know what? We're turning you into a jungler. Just out of the blue. Like, I mean, I never heard the community talk about, hey, you know what? Brand should be jungle. They kind of just did it.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, don't get me wrong.
Why not?
Gives them more stuff. So, yeah, right now it's actually pretty strong. The clear speed is really fast because Brand is pretty much all AoE. So, like, you can see it a lot. And the only, like, downside of Brand jungle is that, well, I mean, you're a mage, right? So if you're going up against a bruiser, it can be a little bit different. But, I mean, generally speaking, it's a pretty good pick right now. So that'll be really interesting to see in the future. Let's see here in our brackets, actually. So as we can see here, we have the divisional championship, right? So that's what we're doing right now. Campbell University against St. Clair. And then whoever wins that pretty much just wins the rankings. So that'll be really interesting.
And we're the 9th seed. We're going into these playoffs able to pull off a couple wins there against Akron and MNSU Purple and make our way to these finals. Cambellsville have been the #1 seed. They did get a 2-0 in round 1, but in round 2, the Trojans took them to 3 games. But Cambellsville was able to come out on top. So if I had to predict, it would be a 3-game series today. It seems like both teams playing pretty well at the moment, but not flawlessly in the round of 4. So in this championship, it should be close games to say the least, and I believe we might go to all 3.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of fighting here, right? They're going to be trying to get ahead, seeing who's, you know, like, I suspect the first match is going to be kind of like them poking and prodding, seeing, okay, how does this team play, right? And then that second match, independently of who wins, is where the action is really going to start pick up. This is where you're going to be starting to see those little, like, special picks, I guess, to counter them. So yeah, the East Conference here, Diamond 2 is around where it is. So currently we are in 2nd place, and then Campbell is, well, at 7 wins and 0 losses. So we're just behind them. So we're going to want to try and see if maybe we can take the lead here and become the best.
Yeah, Cambellsville having a perfect season, 7-0, looking very, very strong for these playoffs. But our St. Clair Saints Academy team has been able to make it to the finals, kind of against some odds, being that 9th seed. So very, very clutch performance from them. And I think they can pull off the upset today. I think if they can just figure something out, they got it. Let's look at their most recent games. You could see in the playoffs, we won 2 games in a row. Our only loss during the regular season was to Cambellsville, and it was a 2-0. So maybe a bit of revenge today, but the rest of the regular season was basically a perfect one. We were just 2-0ing everyone that came in our way. As you could see there, just Cambellsville was able to get the better of us for 1 week, and that's basically all the history we have. So it's going to be a revenge story for our St. Clair Saints, and maybe they can pull off the upset today.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I mean, as we know, revenge is best served cold. So now I think the meal is cold. So we're going to be able to eat it now. But yeah, no, looking at these things, we're going to have some really interesting just fights in general, right? As I was saying, they were poking, they were prodding. We know that the Academy team has been pulling out a few different picks that are pretty niche. Most predominantly when I think of the Briar, right? The Briar is relatively niche, right? Because it's been played like relatively well, right? When you see at like all the player bases, right? Briar is kind of that champion where she's really strong when she's played with a team that kind of is, or against a team that isn't organized, right? Because Briar's the champion. Okay, here's a perfect example. I don't really play champions that get pentakills or anything like that. I usually kind of play more of that, like, either I'm going to go play a tank, or I like supporting my team, right? I don't know, it's just how I like playing. I picked up Briar, and in my first game, I managed to get a pentakill. I kind of look at it, and I'm like, okay, this has to be, like, a fluke or something. I start my second game, and I get another one. And I'm like, okay, something isn't right. Now, granted, this is Briar on release, me going the full crit build, where there was a bug where the percentage of health damage would crit. So you would hit crits for like, you know, a casual 2,200 damage. Something you don't usually want to see. But yeah, I mean, if we look here, right, she got nerfed. So is their niche pick going to come out or not is kind of what we're going to see. Now, granted, the snack attack nerf, right, her W recast, does hurt. But what I want to bring your attention to is going to be the base health loss, right? She lost 20 health.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like much, but on the flip side, it can actually have some pretty big effects, right? Because, again, she's a healing-based champion, right? So that means that it, in a way, is a buff. It sounds weird, but it's a little bit of a buff. Because she can get into that threshold where she heals for more faster, right? If she's taking damage. Because once she gets at 50% health, she's like a Warwick. She heals more. So whenever she recasts her W in the early game, which is kind of when she's vulnerable and she can get cheesed a lot, she's going to deal more damage.
Without a doubt. And I think we might see the crit build more now that she has less HP. People will have less HP to heal, so they're just going to look for the one-shot builds. I think that might be... It's not the biggest nerf, but 20 HP is, or 40 HP is 40 HP. With all that being said, our players are getting ready, so we're going to throw to a very, very quick break. Don't go anywhere. Saints action right after this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are hopping straight onto the Rift here. This Academy team is looking like a very good draft here. So we have a Zac in the top lane, a Maokai in the jungle, an Akali in the mid lane, a Xayah, and an Ashe in the bot lane.
Yeah, that's a very interesting draft. A lot of poke with that Ashe, Xayah, and Maokai, and a kind of a little bit all-in engage with the Zac and Akali. I like the team comp, to be honest, but on the side of St. Clair Academy, they got the Fiora, the Udyr, Azir, Sivir, and Rakan. So they have some strong split pushing power that Fiora can get ahead early, and Udyr is good with dealing enemies who want to go into him, so he'll be more than happy this game. I think the important factor is going to be this Ashe. If she can hit these big arrows on key targets in these team fights, that's going to be a way for Cambellsville University to come back into this.
Yeah, I definitely hear. The strategy is going to be looking very different from both teams. Fiora being more of that split push centered champion and dueling power against that Zac. Now, Zac is a champion that heals by like throwing abilities. I don't even know how he works, to be honest. I never played him, I have played against him, and it's a pain in the butt.
Oh, I agree. This champ is just, I hate this champ with all my heart.
Yeah, okay, but Zac and Maokai makes the comp very tanky, right? So you're gonna see that Severe pretty much just like shaking every single time there's a team fight, because you know those two are gonna be trying to lock onto her and trying to throw her right into the Xayah's range. And Severe's job, right, is to kind of just play that all-in AoE fight, right? And that's pretty much what you see, right? The Udyr's probably going to go tank here, just trying to get as much... wait, hold on, never mind. That's a Scorch Pop. Is he going for a damage build, possibly?
He could be, he could be. He could also be going for the Demonic Brace build, which is a bit of a hybrid. It's not a full tank build, but it's tanky and it does do a lot of damage. But in the bot lane, it's going to be a 2v2, and it's going to be a gank coming out from the Udyr. The Ignite goes down on the Ashe. She will get first blood, but will go down for her troubles. Udyr should be able to pick up the Xayah here, and he will get the double kill. St. Clair Academy looking very, very strong as Fiora gets a solo kill on top as well, but won't be able to finish off the Zac blob just yet. Also a very good trade up there. Can't proc the Vital maybe here, but in the end, it's a 2-for-1 in the balling for St. Clair. The support Ashe able to get the kill back, but for the Udyr, that's a massive spike, and he buys that rod really, really early.
Yeah, here. So Udyr, as you were saying, Demonic Embrace, probably going to be the item he's going for here with the rod. Being purchased, or actually no, I think that's a blasting wand.
Blasting
that's
wand,
a blasting
yeah.
wand.
You're right.
But as we can see, right, onto the not the St. Clair, onto the Tigers side of things, we're seeing a lot of, well, pretty much just a lot of AoE, right? Udyr is AoE, Azir AoE, Severe AoE, Rakan AoE. Oh, hold on here, we got a gank in the top lane. Zac just gonna leave. That's, yeah, that is a very useful ward he's got there in that bush. As I was saying, though, they have so much AoE in their team comp, plus, you know, Fiora for split push. So that means that they're going to try and look for those team fights and try and win them. Whereas you're going to see the St. Clair side of things are probably going to be looking more for something like pick comp, right? You have that Akali to take out either the Xayah, the Rakan, or the Azir. You have... wait, did I just say the Xayah, the Rakan, or the Azir? I meant the Severe, the Rakan, or the Azir. So that this way they can kind of just, like, get a team fight at their advantage, right? Lower their possible AoE. What are your thoughts?
Well, considering what's going on in bot lane right now, this Xayah is up a good amount of CS and also just got a couple extra waves. The Severe had to back and get the HP back. So considering all the chaos that went down level 2 there, Cambellsville getting a bit of a lead in the bot lane, surprisingly. There's going to be a bit of brawling here on the top, and Fiora doing very, very well. Here's going to be the Udyr. Can he stop the Zac double? You should be able to, and this should for sure be a kill for the side of St. Clair Academy. Fiora dropping very, very low, but Solitary Skill will be able to pick that one up, and that's a huge kill on that Fiora. If she can get those items early and start splitting against the Zac, could do a bunch of damage in that side lane.
Yeah, most definitely here. So we're going to be seeing some pretty interesting fights going on. What I have to say is probably going to be like my main point of interest in this game is going to be how that mid lane plays out, right? Azir being kind of that poke mage against the Akali, who is more of an all-in champion. Akali here actually building up a CS lead, going Dorn's shield and most likely second win to make sure that she can live that laning phase. Actually going for a first back here, getting blasting one and lost shot. No, that's not a lost
Amplifying
shot.
quote.
An amp book. Thank you. So we're gonna be seeing probably some big roams out of her, you know, because she did get her buff, I think, not this patch, but last patch, where she can now Q the wave twice with at level 1, which means she gets that. Oh, hold on, Akali here, looking to get some pressure onto the Azir, making him back off his wave. I believe he missed a cannon over that too, so very, very well played. But yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of aggression in that mid lane. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, down 15 CS, this Akali has just been putting in work in this mid lane, but Azir doesn't mind this too much. As long as he doesn't die in this laning phase and scales up, he should be very, very useful. But a 20 CS lead is quite large. This Akali is going to be a tiny bit accelerated, so St. Clair are going to have to watch out for her in these fights. Let's look around the map. Fiora up 20 CS in the top lane. The Zac pick is purely for teamfight purposes, as in top lane not much he can get done. Let's see, there's going to be a dragon start up here for the side of Cambellsville. They're going to go on the Ashe. They hit the knockup. They have the Azir ultimate. It's going to hit 2. Do St. Clair have the damage to follow up? They're looking on the Akali, on the Ashe. Can they chase anything? Akali's going to pick up the Azir, and this Udyr is not finding much value just yet, as the Rakan's going to go down, but Bad Rig Grimes should be able to pick up a couple of kills here. Sivir getting one, but just getting kited out by that Ashe. Doing so much work is Inflame, as the side of St. Clair College have to back up. In the end, it's a 2-for-1 for Cambellsville, but not the biggest fight loss there. The dragon wasn't taken just yet. They're going to look to push the mid wave here, and Cambellsville, after making a couple early mistakes, are going to look for some plays here in the mid lane. But let's look at the top lane. Can the Fiora proc the Vital? Zac looking for the solo kill. There's going to be the last Vital proc. The healing coming through. A couple of more Qs should do it. One more auto, and Fiora able to get that kill. Rakan now looking on the Xayah. Can he find the W? Will he go for it here? The Azir's going to pull up. Can he find one more kill on him? Yes, he will. And as it wasn't looking too good for St. Clair College, they're able to find a couple of huge kills and put themselves in the lead, also taking the first dragon.
Yeah, very, very well executed here by the side of St. Clair College. We're going to get a pretty good amount of kills. So they're going to be ahead by, well, actually, I think that's 1,000-ish gold. I think we can call it 1,000. I mean, I'm rounding, but, you know, it's just more efficient that way. So Akali definitely going to try and get that push to keep on going, right? She did get herself ahead of Azir, so she's going to want to try and recover that by getting some roams in, getting some kills, and most likely the bot lane. You don't usually roam to go and get a kill on the Fiora, because Fiora is kind of just that dueling champion that says, okay, cool, come and gank me, I'm going to heal off you. So we're gonna see her trying to go for those extended plays, where she's gonna hop onto the bot lane, try and get the kills. Severe is the queen of wave clear though, so you're probably gonna see the Severe try and go for just either I let myself get pushed in, then clear the wave, keep my CS, or something differently. Hold on here, possible gank trying to get set up, but just some poke coming in. Very, very interesting. Oh, hold on. Xayah just took a tower shot, but Severe is very, very low here. She did actually opt for those refillables, because Xayah poke hurts. She is down 20 CS for it, though, right? And that's another 150 gold that she's lost, right? So we're going to be seeing a lot of possible damage here. Zac, ooh, hold on. Trying to go for that. Oh my god, Zac getting the ulti in. Fiora got hit by the Ashe arrow unpredictably. And he is going to shut down the Fiora for 450 gold. That is, that was unexpected. That was a very good snipe from the Ashe.
That's a dangerous play by Akali, though. Going all the way in. Do they have the damage to one-shot her here? The Maokai ult is going to hit one. Will Akali find the double kill here in the mid lane? One more Q will give it to her. And Cambellsville University, in a matter of seconds, managed to take a 2k gold lead. They're going to look to fight here in the bot lane as well, but Cambellsville University, off the back of that Ashe arrow, able to make those plays happen. And now Akali 3-0 has the Hectic Proto Belt, will be so strong and so far ahead. This bot lane also struggling very, very much for St. Clair. Don't have too much range to deal with that Ashe Xayah. There's going to be a Maokai in this jungle, though, and the Ghost is going to be pocked by Bad Rim Grimes. No flash on him. This should be a sure kill going over to the side of St. Clair. Fiora taking that one, I think, for the better, and she's going to be a very crucial part of St. Clair College here if they're going to look to win this game. The split pushing feels like their best bet here, with bot lane and mid lane being so far behind. But the fact that Badger Grimes is close to that first item, when he gets the Demonic Embrace, he's going to be very strong. But you could see the Zac and the Maokai both going full tank, going for that Aegis and making sure they don't take too much damage.
Yeah, definitely here. So we're going to see that when the Udyr starts getting that Demonic Embrace in, right, he got his boots for that extra movement speed, right? Because Udyr kind of just plays or synergizes as well with that movement speed, right? Trying to get that extra damage off, and so he can run down people with his AoE. But that Demonic Embrace means he gets to clear faster. It means he gets to deal more damage. It means he gets tankier, right? It's just like a generally good item. We can see he bought it right now. You're going to see the Maokai probably going for something like the Radiant Virtue, I believe it's called, for his Mythic, just because it gives that much healing here. He wants to basically funnel either the Akali or the Xayah, right? Because that's what you want. You want to funnel either your carry or your AP damage, right? So getting that extra healing onto the Akali and the Xayah, making sure that they last a little bit longer in those team fights, right? So you're probably going to see Zac trying to engage the fight. And then you're oh, hold on, here's the Ashe Arrow hitting on the bot lane. We're going to see it.
Wow.
Oh my god, the Severe trying to pop her ult. Not even going to get the chance. Xayah is going to take her out immediately. And Xayah gets the double kill by killing the Rakan too. Wow. Here in the top lane, we're going to see Fiora getting the kill onto the poor Zac. As we said, Zac in the top lane isn't ideal. He is keeping up on CS, but
he's doing
definitely
good.
falling down on dueling.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good up in his top lane. Yes, Fiora's 4-1, but look how much St. Clair have to sacrifice in the top lane. Look at their bot lane. But this Akali's going to be going for the 1-2. Hits the E. I think the Fiora should help out the Zac here. Maybe they can even turn this one around and get the shutdown. That is 400 gold. The ulti won't kill the Udyr, and the Akali will get out of dodge as well. But the bot side of Campbell University, look at those items. Umbriel and Kraken Slayer picked up for the Ashe and Xayah. Level 8, looking very strong. And this next dragon is going to be spawning up in just 18 seconds. I think if St. Clair fight this one, it would be very rough for them, as Azir doesn't even have an item yet. Akali so fed. I think the only way St. Clair College can really win this game is if this Fiora just goes Hullbreaker and just takes out these towers. But the Xayah and Ashe, after having a bit of a rough start, able to bring themselves back into the game, and now looking very strong in this mid game.
Yeah, most definitely here. We're going to see a fight going on into the mid lane. We're going to see if something results from it. Zac going to get the grab onto the Rakan. The Rakan flashing away, making sure he doesn't get pulled too close here. But we're going to be seeing some interesting, because that trade right there is pretty much the dragon, right? I mean, the Rakan's too low to really go in unless he's a mad lad and just sacrifices himself for a full-on engage, right? So here, I mean, St. Clair can't really do anything, so they're going to lose that red buff. They're going to, maybe Azir is going to pick it up, but they're also going to lose that dragon, right? Or wait, hold on.
Yeah, they're going to lose the dragon. Fiora's top lane.
Yeah, so Fiora's just going to be getting those plays, getting Feder, right? She already has her Divine Sunderer to pop the Maokai and pop the Zac. So her goal is going to be essentially place enough silent pressure. There you go. There goes the first turret. So that turret is going to be a lot of gold heading to Fiora, right? Her Divine Sunderer going to contribute a lot to, you know, just killing those tanks, getting them out of the way so that their Severe can basically just put a lot of pressure onto the enemy team. And just hope to everything that is holy that their Fiora lasts long enough so that the Severe can DPS.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's going to be hard in this team fight. There's another Ashe Arrow hit, but the Akali misses the E onto the Azir, so won't be able to kill him there. Both mid laners on low HP down there, but Maokai is hovering, so Azir has to be careful. In the mid lane, Ashe is going to take a tower shot, but they're going to poke out the Severe a little bit. And now this Azir going way too aggressive. The Maokai is going to be there coming in, and that should be a kill in the bot lane. I don't think they'll be able to find anything in the mid lane as the Xayah is easily surviving there. The E is going to hit. The ulti has to come out midair. Is able to hit on the Akali. The Akali will get the kill and will get out. Nice solo kill there. So accelerated now. Got 4 kills, and Azir, as of right now, just can't hold her in that side lane.
No, most definitely. Azir is struggling here. He moved up a little bit too much. She did sacrifice her flash to get that extra Q onto the Azir and get the kill. But again, a Fed Akali is a pain in the butt, but if you can lock her down with that CC, you should be fine, right? I mean, if you see like the Azir with his ultimate, you have the Rock on Airborne, you have the Udyr stun, right? Which can lock on pretty much every target. Udyr also has that like following slow with, I believe it's his ultimate. I'm not sure which one it is.
There's gonna be a fight here.
Oh yeah, fight probably in the
There's the Ashe arrow. It misses onto everyone. Akali's gonna Q very, very early. There's gonna be the Maokai ult and the Zac engage coming through. Doesn't hit too much. Are they gonna be able to find the re-engage here? The Rakan gets absolutely one pop. The Udyr's dead on the backline. There's this Akali's doing so much work. We'll be able to pick up the Fiora as well. And that should be the Rift Herald going over to the side of Cambellsville University. They're gonna look to chase down this Azir. He's gonna dash away, but a 3-for-0 and a very dominant fight for them. There's Zaya's gonna walk up a little bit. There's gonna be a Maokai on the flank, and Zac maybe gonna look to engage here on the mid lane as well. He's gonna back up, and St. Clair are going to be able to survive with 2 members, but at the end of the day, Cambellsville University now up 3,000 gold. They got that Rift Herald, they got the last Dragon, and the game is just looking very much in their favor at the moment.
Yeah, most definitely here. It is in their favor. What can St. Clair do to recover from this? I mean, their Severe is pretty far behind right now.
Very far
Their
behind.
Azir is non-existent.
Yeah.
He just got his crown. So crown not really a damage-centered item, right? More
Easily
centered around
Andres.
not getting exploded by the Akali instantly.
But he
so,
still does. Still gets
Yeah.
exploded. It's just too far behind in the game, but they're going to find the Zac here. If they can interrupt his W early, they should be able to kill him. There's going to be the W. He is on 1 HP, and he will get taken into his passive. There is the Ashe arrow coming through onto the Rakan. Can they clean up the kill on the Zac? He'll be able to survive on 1 HP, and Bad Rick Grimes in the middle of 5 members will go down. St. Clair just not having the damage in time, and you could see it there. It's going to be a fight maybe here in the bot lane, though. Akali going for the 1v2. The Rakan's going to be forced to charm up the Akali here. Will she decide to ult? She doesn't have it just yet. But off the back of that 1 kill, look at how much pressure is going down. Mid-turret is going to be hit up a lot. Sivir able to clear waves well, but not well enough at this point in the game. And we could see 2 Radiant Virtues. 1 for Zac, 1 for Maokai. The side of Cambellsville will just be so tanky. And then the 5v5 St. Clair are going to have a very rough time.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, one of the biggest things that we're probably going to be seeing here is because Campbell is so ahead, right? They need to try and shut down anyone. Like, I mean, they have 3 out of 5 of their players that have shutdowns, right? So they need to shut down any of those. Preferably, you want to go for that Akali with, you know, her 650 gold shutdown, because that'll net you 6, 7, 8, 9, 950 gold, right? And then if you take out, if you give that shutdown to your Severe, she's pretty much going to be at the same level as the Zaya. Oh, hold on here, maybe. Oh, okay, no, they're not going to go for a dive here.
But they're going to go for a fight. Udyr able to find them in the middle. Ashe though able to flash away, and look how much damage side of Camels will have. There's going to be the Zaya ER combo coming out, and that's going to be a really quick kill on this Udyr. He is not as tanky just yet, and Ashe and Zaya just able to kite him so well, using the flash perfectly to get out of dodge. There's going to be another kill going over to Cambellsville University, and this should be mid-tier 1 dropped as well. There's going to be a Dragon up as well at this time, so they're going to go and probably pick that one up. And this Fiora just needing to do a little bit more on the side lane, I feel like, against the Zac. Yes, she's up a level. Yes, she's pushing down these turrets. But at this state of the game, she needs to do way more to win this game, as St. Clair College are just too far behind to fight any real objectives. While this Dragon's falling, Fiora will be able to pick up this tier 2, or almost. It will survive on 1 HP. She's going to look to go back to lane and push this one out, as Zac is going to trade a little bit, but doesn't really have any kill potential with that Radiant Virtue.
Yeah, no, that Radiant Virtue definitely offering a whole lot of nothing in terms of damage, right? But Zac has a lot of AoE, which is something that Fiora does lack until she gets her team at. She does have it now, but
oh, there's Ashe arrow.
Oh, hold on. That Ashe arrow could have been a big fight, but just gonna basically tell her to bugger off.
Basically.
So yeah, she's gonna go for a recall here. I think she has enough for either a Ravenous Hydra or at least a Vamp Scepter and a Claude Field. Okay, yeah, does go for the Claude Field here. Probably not enough for the Vamp Scepter. Oh no, she's going. Ooh. Okay, no, she's going for a pickaxe instead. Interesting. So we might be seeing something else, right?
Could be Hullbreaker.
Ooh, Hullbreaker is a possibility. Yeah, actually, she could build the time mat for the wave clear and then just Hullbreaker instantly. That would give her the dueling potential to actually take out that Akali, right? Because Akali's kind of that champion where she gets like 2 kills and then even a duelist can't really take her on, right? Like, Fiora's strong, all right?
Akali's
really
also a duelist, yeah.
But yeah, Akali's kind of that assassin duelist hybrid where she can just say, oh, okay, cool, you're fed. No, you're not anymore. And delete you, right? Just because she has, 2 kills, so 1 idol, right? Now, granted, they have, Clair here has a very good neutral game.
No, it can't. I thought they could maybe find a pick on Maokai there for Con pulled the trigger, but Zach was going to be there with the re-engage, so Clair opts to not go for that one. But now we could see the Baron Vision being made by Cambellsville University. They maybe don't do this one super quickly, but that Xayah being on 2 items will shred down the Baron. We could maybe see Cambellsville University go for a fake Baron and then try and turn for a fight, but looks like they're not going to choose to that one. There's going to be the Ash arrow coming out, misses on the Rakan, but that arrow is going to be up so soon. 2 items on the Ash now with the Mandate and the Umbreon. And here we're going to see the Baron start coming from Cambellsville. They know if St. Clair College want to fight this, it should be in their favor. And let's see how this fight's going to pop off. You can see how much damage the Udir's taking early. The Rakan's going in the backline, but he's always lonesome. There's going to be the Azir ult. Not too much damage done. Xayah on 1 HP. Still all members alive for both teams, but some crucial summoners used, and the Baron won't be able to get taken in the mid lane now. Still not too much damage on that Severe. The Azir has to be pretty careful here, though. The Akali is going to look to engage him, misses the E though, and Azir should be able to make it out. She's going to look to follow up, but just going to do a bit of poke damage, and they're going to back out of this one. At the end of the day, nobody falls. Just a bit of vision for Cambellsville University.
Yeah, I definitely hear this vision probably going to lead up into a Baron eventually. But here, if St. Clair can stall out so that they can have the Dragon, that way they can say, okay, either you guys take the Dragon and we take Baron, or you guys take Baron and we take Dragon, right? If you can force that kind of neutral game and force them into making that decision. I mean, granted, in this case, taking the Baron is probably the better idea because they can leave one and this Dragon's not going to give them any buffs, right? I mean, movement speed isn't going to kill your entire team, right? If it was a Cloud Drake, if it was a Cloud Drake, yes. If it was an Ocean Drake, you know, maybe Mountain Drake, an Infernal, that's something that's going to deal damage to your team, right? That's going to hurt. But Cloud Drakes pretty much just get you closer to Soul. That's like their entire purpose. They give you more movement speed, but like, is it really effective? It gets your rotations out faster, I guess, but that's pretty much it, right? So if you're looking at taking that Baron, yeah, as we can see here, I mean, St. Clair can't really contest this.
They can, and they're gonna look to one-shot the Ashe, and one-shot her they will. Looking to kill the Xayah now, but the Akali is in this fight. It's a 1-for-2 so far. The Baron does get taken down, and Cambellsville University are just gonna chase the side of St. Clair down. That's 3 dead. They're gonna pick up the Azir as well. Quadra kill, maybe? No. The Akali gonna pick that one up. Yes, Fiora split pushing in the mid lane and bot lane, but the rest of St. Clair College are dead, and Cambellsville University should be able to pick up a couple tier 2s here at least, and maybe not a couple inhibitors.
Yeah, definitely that Baron buff going to be very, very useful in taking out those towers. They have the wave, they have the pushing power, so they're going to take out that Demolish, dealing a lot of damage to the towers with Zach wielding it, of course. They're just going to take that 1 tier 2 though, it would seem, along with the Gromperton, of course. But here we're seeing like that trade of that center tower at the mid lane, right? For Baron is kind of an equal trade to a certain extent. Hear me out. Mid tower is known for giving you priority, right? It's known for kind of being that gate to say, okay, you know what, you can play now. So they have a lot of access now. They can play around those other objectives a lot better than what they used to, because now they can get that deep vision by going through that mid lane. They can get that vision onto every objective. They can get it, and they have ways to get into that mid lane and behind some waves, right? So it's going to be still difficult, don't get me wrong. They are behind a good amount of gold here. 7,000 is significant. but there are ways to make it work.
Yeah, and I think the only way is through this Fiora, and she's going to be looking for the solo kill here. Up in the top lane, does have the hull breaker, but look at the healing coming out from Zac. Maybe some anti-heal would serve this Fiora some justice, as she's going to be able to take that tier 2. The Dragons is going to go down to Cambellsville University, and they're going to be looking for engage in mid lane. The Ashe arrow is going to get tanked up by that Sivir, but she does have the shield to block it out. And in the end, Fiora just pushing through this top lane is going to be looking to do as much damage as possible. This mid tier 2 should be dropping for the side of St. Clair College. I don't think they have enough to defend here. If they do, they might just go down. The Zaya's not hitting the turret, however, she's a bit scared of walking up into that team comp. The Rakan R, the Azir R could always swing the tides of a fight. You can see Akali going down to half HP. Maybe St. Clair can pull a trigger here. Maybe a TP coming up from Fiora behind could be the play, but Akali is going to choose to back off. As Sivir stops that one, they maybe find any play, but you could see how much vision is there for Cambellsville University with that Umbreal Glaive. This Ashe just able to do so much work. And they've made probably a good amount of this Baron, but in the end, it's still a 6k gold lead. It's not spiraled out of control just yet. If they can just let this Fiora keep split pushing, maybe she can do some decent damage on this island, and she picked up that hull breaker, going for that Ravenous Hydra third item probably, and gonna look to put St. Clair on top here.
Yeah, most definitely the Fiora being the win condition, or well, split pushing being the win condition here, but Severe is known for being very scaly, right? Once she gets her second to third item, that's when you start being scared, right? Because you got AoE crit, which is slightly terrifying in team fights. So she does have her novelty, she does have her static shift, right? So she has that extra ability haste, and she does have that extra wave clear, which basically means she's standing at that point where she's saying, okay, I have 55% crit, because she does have that crit float, right? She hits crits half the time, bare minimum, which means she's going to be able to say, all right, you know what? I'm comfortable with taking a team fight as long as there's a front line. So these are the times where, I mean, if you look at the amount of turrets that there are, right? You got the mid turret and the bot turret, and then they're all inhibitor turrets, which are kind of hard to split push to, right? Because the enemy team will see you coming. So kind of here the Severe just going to try and play the neutral game, right? She's going to wave clear as much as possible in the mid lane to make sure that they can't take it. And then you're probably going to see the Fiora possibly coming out for a team fight or two, just to front line a little bit to let that Severe kind of hold that line. Well, what are your thoughts?
I don't think so. I think this Fiora with 3 items, with the hull breaker, her only job might be just to sit bot here and just babysit this Akali, because Akali with 3 items and 10 Dark Seal stacks is just going to do insane damage. She's level 16 when the rest of St. Clair members are level 13, but there's going to be a fight here. It looks like they're going to be able to lock up the Maokai, do a bit of his HP, but not able to follow up with anything just yet. And now Fiora is going to head down to that bot lane, farm that up. Azir finally picking up a second item, but just so far behind. He's only level 13. He's down 3 levels in the mid lane. It's not looking very good there, as this Akali has just been going rampant in this game. The Baron is going to be spawning up in 1 minute, and I think we're going to see Cambellsville get a lot of vision for that one. The Dragon also up in a minute 45, so if they're able to pick up the Dragon and then the Baron, it's going to be all game over. Xayah now sitting on 4 items, going to be doing so much damage in these team fights. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I think at this Baron we're going to see a big fight, and the winner of that one will be victorious in this game 1.
It does look like it. This Baron is kind of going to be crucial to, like, it's going to decide the game. If Cambellsville gets it, they win. It's that simple. I mean, they're probably going to have a wave on either the mid lane or the top lane. They're going to push through. I don't think the respawn timers are going to be that short that St. Clair can come back and give a good defense. It's kind of going to be throw yourself and hope that something stops the minions from,
basically.
Right? So when it comes to St. Clair here, you want to, like, hope that maybe the Udyr can pull off a steal, and only the Udyr does it, because that way you have 4 people to block the rest of the fights, right? But yeah, here, Cambellsville looking for that fight at the Baron, basically challenging them and saying, okay, well, come over.
They're giving it, I think.
And yeah, I mean, if they don't come over, right, it's a free Baron. If you contest it, we wipe you, right? So you have to give it. So now here, I mean, there's only one thing Sinclair can do, and that's wait for the inevitable.
Well, I think they're going to be waiting for the Dragon, which is up in 13 seconds, and that's the fight they're willing to take with their Fiora being bot side. The Azir is going to be coming back from base, and you're just thinking to yourself, if they take this one, the game just ends. Ocean Soul would be so strong for them. They have way more poke, so able to sustain after dishing out that poke will just win them everything. And they're not even maybe looking to contest this one, maybe going to give this one too, and they're just giving Cambellsville non-stop advantages, as I think they're just praying that this Fiora ends the game, but she's just not doing enough right now. Yes, she's 3 items with that Hex Drinker. She's going to be making her way to the top lane. Cambellsville University could just look to group either mid or bot and look to just push and end this game, as all Sinclair basically have on their side is this Fiora, who's a bit of ahead. The rest of the team are just so far behind. You can see they do some damage to the Akali, but is it really that important? The Azir is going to get his crown popped, and I don't like that purchase into the poke comp of Cambellsville University. It just gets popped so easily. You feel like maybe something like Leandri's would have been a little bit better, as there's going to be the ultimate coming up from the Ashe. The E's going to hit. The Azir doesn't have a stopwatch. Will he get flanked on by this Akali? No, the Akali will choose to back off, reset, and maybe defend against the Fiora, who's split pushing. But there's going to be a fight in the bot lane. They do manage to find the Ashe. The Azir should be able to get on top of her. She uses the flash, uses the heal, but should die in just a second. There it is. But the rest of Cambellsville University are coming in here. The TP is coming out from Zach, and it's going to be a TP coming out from one as well from St. Clair. Maybe that's the fight they need. They need to get on top of the Xayah, who is 4 items. The TP is coming out from Akali and Fiora as well. Everybody in this fight now. Badrick Grimes trying to do something, as Rakan's going to go down to the Akali. Badrick Grimes going to fall on that Udyr. Akali going to be able to pick up that Azir as well, and I think this is going to be all she wrote. This Fiora is going to try and do something, but with this Akali damage, she will die in just a second, and there is going to be the cleanup for the side of Cambellsville University. That should be the game, and they're going to look to end it out right here.
Yeah, here, I mean, the fight is, it was inevitable to come where they just kind of get wiped. Severe has AoE, but not that much AoE. She's probably going to have to let that tower fall along with the Nexus towers. If she, like, because she needs to be alive, right, or else she can't defend. But if she can't, like, she can't stay under those towers. You have Maokai to tank, you have Akali to deal enough damage to pretty much instantly pop the Azir here. Yeah, Akali just looks for, almost splashes into the fountain, just to try and stay away from that.
Oh, looking for the Akali. Can they find the Akali here, doing so much damage, but the Xayah returning. The Akali is going to be going in. That's going to be a 1k shutdown going over to Azir, but the Xayah is just cleaning house. There's a triple kill for Makilov. Can he pick up the 4th in the spawn? The Udyr will go down as well. Quadra kill on the Xayah, and that is going to be game 1. Going over to Cambellsville University. Will they look for the pentakill? There's the immune. They're going to be looking to dive it, but it's a little bit too deep. The Xayah will fall. The Maokai will fall as well, but the game will end, and that is game 1. Going over to Cambellsville University, and a dominant one to say that, at least to say that.
Yeah, most definitely here the game was not in Sinclair's favor, but hey, as we can see, like, our players are kind of analyzing the situation. They're talking to themselves. They're saying, all right, what happened there, and how do we fix this problem, right? Because as I was saying earlier on when in the pre-show, right, they want to kind of ask themselves, okay, in this first round, how does Campbell play, right? Do they play aggressive? Do they play passive? What kind of picks do they play? Like, they have the OP.GG, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that they know how the players play, right? So you see the picks that they play, but you don't see exactly their core, right? So here you kind of saw them go for the AoE-centered team fight team. But now we know, right, okay, Campbell University goes for those, like, get one person fed, win the game, right? That Maokai was huge, right? Because he got those plays done, right? You saw that gank in the bot lane, and then all of a sudden, okay, well, that sounds fun. How about we just take a team fight now, right? It's that ability to just take a team fight while that Fiora isn't there, right? Because your fights are always going to be a 4v5 if you have a Fiora or a split pusher champion. Yeah. So this is basically going to be a question of, can they draft properly?
Yeah, I think the draft wasn't the best for St. Clair there. We didn't see the order, but I just think Udyr into that draft comp can't do anything. What can you really do? The Ashe just autos you once and you can't move. The Xayah just one-shots you, and it's very hard to get things done. But yeah, that game one, not the best for our St. Clair Saints. But we're going to throw it to a very, very quick break as players get ready for game two of these NACE Grand Finals. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 of this NACE Varsity Plus Grand Finals. We got St. Clair College Academy taking on Cambellsville University. Cambellsville was successful in taking the game 1, and it's looking like a bit of a similar draft for them starting in the top lane. They got the Zach, they got the Sejuani in the jungle, Jace in the middle, and the Ezreal Heimerdinger in the bot lane. In the top lane for St. Clair College, they got Fiora in the jungle. There's a Wukong. In the mid lane, they got the Syndra and the bot lane of Zaya Rakan. So two very interesting team comps. A bit different from last game, but it looks like Cambellsville University liking to go for that poke-heavy bot side of the map with the Jace, Ezreal, and Heimerdinger in top lane. They just love having those tanks with the Zac and Sejuani.
Yeah, most definitely here. So we're seeing pretty much the same kind of comp when it comes to that Campbell University, right? Again, going for the Zac in the top lane against the Fiora, so they literally just mirrored last game's matchup. And then in the jungle, it's another CC-intensive jungler, right? The Maokai in the first game, now it's the Sejuani. So both Aftershock champions. Very, very interesting the way that's going to play out. The Jace is going to be a little bit of an interesting pick against that Syndra, right? Syndra really just comfortable kind of saying, okay, cool, go away. Jace is going to probably want to just poker with that EQ here. We're seeing a lot of training in the bot lane. Interesting. That Heimerdinger does allow a lot of that, although he is known for stealing a little bit of CS here and there. But that's just because of the turrets. You can't really blame the guy. But yeah, speaking of the bot lane here, that Ezreal Heimerdinger is a very big poke lane, and Zaya Rakan might be good in team fights. Against a poke comp like that in the bot lane, it's gonna be a pain, right?
Yeah.
So honestly, I don't know how this is gonna play out. We're probably gonna see the Ezreal trying to go for some early plates. I think that's gonna be like the play, maybe some early kills. But we'll see how that goes. What are your thoughts?
We'll probably see a lot of early plates and a lot of dragon stacking coming up from Cambellsville. I expect by 12 minutes for them to have at least 2 dragons in this game. It just feels like Syndra, Wukong, Zaya, Rakan won't have prio in their respective lanes to even be able to rotate. And Cambellsville, as you said, already almost have that first play 3 minutes into the game. Gonna probably look to get it on that cannon wave. And they're gonna be so far accelerated. Ezreal has missed a bit of CS though. He's only at 14, while Zaya has been forced under turret, who's on 11. All around the map, we could see Fiora having an advantage in the top lane, as expected. Should be dominating in that matchup all the way in the jungle of Cambellsville, deep, looking for that Sejuani, throw up that timing, and Syndra's going to get doing some training in the mid lane. Don't expect too much action there. If anything, the Jace may be going to be able to find some early game aggression. There's going to be some early game aggression in the ball lane. Huge kill for the side of St. Clair College. They're able to get that first blood, and a great play from Grey Gorilla. They're going to force the Ezreal out. Can they find the chase on him? He won't have the W there. But yet again, a great start for St. Clair College in the early game, able to pick up that first blood.
Yeah, here we can see that Ezreal Heimerdinger bot lane getting that priority, but the thing is, it's not because you have that priority that you need to get cocky. Hold on here, Wukong trying to go for a duel against the Sejuani. Does have the advantage. Sejuani going to burn that flash even though Wukong is on cooldowns. Interesting decision there for sure.
Not a good flash.
No, not a good flash. Could have been better. But hey, I mean, that does mean that she lives, which means that she can continue and try and get some better jungling in, right? Sejuani being a little bit more of a farmer here. Wukong going to look for the gank, but I mean, yeah. Zac kind of just W's away here. Zac notices summoners. TP Ignite. He is looking for that kill against the Fiora.
Yeah.
Which is an
it's not
canceling
bad.
Wukong's back like that. No, it's good, it's good.
Because the Fiora has a lot of healing, and when Zac gets really tanky, I mean, his base stats are just so overtuned. He's able to kill Fiora if he gets the right setup. Last game, Fiora played just that much better and was able to find the upper hand. There's going to be a fight in the bot lane here. Heimer's going to get a lot of poke off, but Zac will have that prio somehow in the early game, as the gank from Wukong didn't find much. Let's see what's going to happen. The dragon is spawning up in 5 seconds. I'm expecting as soon as this Ezreal gets back to lane and they're able to get that prio yet again, the Sejuani will be looking for a gank as well. We could see all members down towards that boss side of the map. This Rakan's gonna go in, but it's gonna miss the W. But still a lot of poke being done to this Heimerdinger, and that's a lot of damage. Also a lot of damage going down in the mid lane. But now there's gonna be gank down to the bot lane. All sums available for the side of St. Clair. They have those flashes. They're gonna have to get out. Those Xayah getting stunned up and will die. Even burning the flash couldn't live there, as the Wukong is going to look to get a trade kill. But that's a great pickup for Cambellsville University, as the Ezreal is going to get the kill, and they're going to get that push and probably look for that dragon.
Yeah, definitely here we're going to be seeing some interesting moments. The Zac had that priority when it came to push, but now Fiora built up a really big wave, so she's going to try and crash that. Probably going to go for her first recall here, getting that Spellblade, right? Because that's a huge power spike for her. She can deal a lot of damage. Jace here taking a lot of damage, but not expecting the Rakan to show up and counter his engage onto that Syndra. So Syndra actually going to heal a little bit from that trade thanks to Rakan Qs. Yeah. Honestly, Jace is doing really well for himself here. He has like decent poke, right? He has a serrated Dirk. He basically equals, if not a little bit more, since there's a wave pushing into him, the CS of that Syndra, right? So Syndra's gonna want to try and play the neutral game. Jace is gonna try and play the more aggro game, trying to get ahead, right? Because Jace is an assassin. He wants to get that early game advantage, but he also scales really well into late game. Ask any ADC player, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Because Jace is known for pressing 2 buttons, and all of a sudden, your ADC just got Thanos snapped. So, Jace is that champion that is relevant at all points of the game, right? Because he's a shapeshifter, he's strong early game. Because he has insane scaling, he's strong in the late game. So we're going to want to see where that Jace gets them.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good point you make, that Jay's going to have to be very oppressive later parts of the game. You can see the Zac this game doing much better against the Fiora, even on the CS, and getting that push. And yes, he's on 1 HP, but does have the Resurrect, and inside of that huge wave, he'll just be able to push that one in and get his first back of the game off. A lot of poke gonna go down on this Rakan Xayah, and you can see the push coming out from Cambellsville University. I'm very surprised they haven't gone for a dragon yet, but maybe the game state just hasn't allowed them to, as this poke is getting landed from both the Heimerdinger and the Ezreal. So dangerous. And now the dragon's gonna be started up by the Sejuani, but the Wukong and Syndra are first in the jungle. Let's see what's gonna happen here. Do they have any idea? The Ezreal is gonna hit onto that Xayah, do so much damage this early into the game, but he's gonna go for the kill here. Won't have enough damage just yet, and Sejuani has still been on this dragon the entire time. Cambellsville should be able to take that one and push their advantage.
Yeah, so as we can see here, definitely going to take that dragon for Cambellsville. But we saw Zac taking a tower shot here. Actually, a very smart move from him to kind of tank an extra wave, because he wants to get that push into him. But now, because he has a lot of AoE and lost a lot of HP, he accidentally took out his entire wave. But that gives him that push, and that stops Fiora from backing, right? So, kind of a planned clear of his wave here. Zac likes to have his waves bunched up, right? Because it lets him clear them faster. So, tanks the tower shot, but gets them a huge wave to instantly clear. So, a really smart play by him here. We're going to see that bot lane is Rakan with the engage onto the Heimerdinger, gets the charm off, comes back onto the Xayah, but yeah, no, not going to go well for him.
Oh, one more auto, he's able to get it, and they should be able to pick up the kill on the Heimer here. He has no flash, but Xayah has to be careful not to die, and the Wukong's gonna pick that one up. A huge play for the side of St. Clair College Academy, able to get the 2 for 1 in the ball, and Rakan did go down. But that's going to be a lot of gold going over to the Xayah. You can see the shutdown, but the Syndra decided to walk up way too far in the mid lane. Will get hit by the ultimate, but will get the perfect stun off and get both of them off him. So the Syndra is forced to burn flash, but is able to survive the Sejuani ult, just not stunning her for long enough. And at the end of the day, still a 200 gold lead, but St. Clair able to get the better of that one in that engagement.
Hold on here, we have a fight in the mid lane. Gonna assassinate the Heimerdinger with that Wukong ultimate. Sejuani possibly looking for the re-engage as that Jace jumps in, but Jace just got his health bar nuked down by that Syndra ultimate. Ezreal EQ'd her as revenge.
I want to see where the Ezreal ult goes, because it will be enough to kill that Syndra. He decides not to use it towards the mid lane, still holding it in. probably not going to pick that one up, but very close fights there. As on the Rift Herald, the Wukong's going to take a lot of damage, but you can see the Fiora coming over to help. The Heimer is here though, so this is going to be something where St. Clair just can't fight it. The Rakan is down in bot lane as this Zac might be looking for a solo kill on the Fiora, is able to get the flash out, is able to get the ignite off, and that will be a solo kill. Going over to 6 Kings, able to kill that Fiora in the matchup that you would just not expect it. He's going for the Brambles vest this game, which he didn't go for last game, and I think the Zac is just starting to feel himself up in his top lane, building up an unexpected lead against this Fiora.
Yeah, going for that anti-heal on top of the ignite, right? He has that pure anti-heal from the ignite, and now he's going for that anti-heal when he doesn't have ignite. So he can take those trades every time. Fiora is going to not heal as much from every trade she takes, right? Because Bramble Vest applies anti-heal. Hold on here.
Oh my. The flash is going to come out. The Heimerdinger ult is going to come through, but it won't find anything. So, I mean, St. Clair College are just kind of getting caught and forced to burn their summoners, and this will let Cambellsville University just get so much pressure in topside. They should be able to take this first turret here and get a crash onto the tier 2. Fiora is still up there, and this Zac is just getting so fed. He's going to be super tanky come later into the game, and with all that backline, if they can just play front to back, this game should be very easy for the side of Cambellsville University.
Campbell here kind of learning their lesson from last game and saying, you know what, that Fiora is going to be a problem. So we're going to put some resources into that Fiora instead of that bot lane, right? The Ezreal here does have the same kills and pretty much a better CS than Xayah, right? So he's sitting pretty. Xayah does scale a lot more, right? So you kind of want to watch out for that. But because it is an Ezreal, right, you always have that poke game that you can play in just taking out the Syndra.
There's a hold on here. They should be able to get the one shot on the Jace here, and he should take down to that ignite. Will go down. A great play there from St. Clair College as they're able to force out the Jace in the mid lane and take that one very easily. Great play by Gorilla. Great Gorilla there, and it's going to be a turnaround coming here from the Ezreal, but he doesn't have any mana left. Won't be able to find the Xayah there. Kind of an ego play from him, and will go down to Badger Grimes, who's now 3-0 on that Wukong. This Heimerdinger is walking up incredibly far, and the Rakan's here as well. They might look for a dive onto the support here. He does have that ultimate and does have the exhaust, so has to be a bit careful here. Should flash that W, decides not to, and now this will be the end of him. Surely the W is going to come out there from him. The flash is going to keep him alive, but on this Heimerdinger, just so far behind, not able to fight back quite yet. St. Clair College having a 100 gold lead and looking pretty good towards that bot side of the map.
Yeah, most definitely here. Oh, hold on. I think we might be seeing a duel here in the top lane. Zac going up against that Fiora. Zac does have his revive ready, so Fiora needs to watch out for that, because if she gets poked down too much, by the time he revives, because she doesn't have the AoE to take out his revive, she might just lose. Zac pulling out the ultimate here.
Both ultimates coming out. And Zac's going to heal up just a little bit, but now Fiora's going to look for the kill. The Q doesn't connect. The Ignite comes through, and the Zac's going to look for a turnaround kill here. Can he land his W? It's going to be very close here. He's going to be looking for it, but this Fiora still does have kill potential. The Q's going to hit from the Zac. There's going to be so much damage done, and now the jump's going to come through. The Fiora's going to parry it, but one more auto, and she will go down. The Zac is just unstoppable in the top lane as there's a dragon fight going on. It is 14 minutes in. I said we would expect a lot of dragons coming up from Cambellsville University, and I think that's what they're going to look for to play for here. There's going to be their Rakan ultimate. The Wukong, though, had to go out, so won't be there to follow up with his own ultimate. The Sejuani's going to hit, and the TP is coming out from the Zac. He's going to be an absolute menace in his team fight. Look at that ultimate coming out from the Ezreal. The shutdown does go on the Sejuani, and this should be a dragon picked up for Cambellsville University as they're able to expand their gold lead a little bit, and they're looking very strong in this game too.
Yeah, most definitely here. Those dragons are going to be very valuable. That Chemtech adding a little bit of healing. Shielding power along with some tenacity, and we're going to be seeing a significant use for that extra tenacity, given the fact that, you know, we have Xayah Root, Syndra Stun, plus whatever Fiora decides to parry, right? So that's a lot of CC that you can block, or, well, get use out of the extra tenacity from the Chemtech. The extra movement speed from that Cloud Drake is going to be useful, and Infernal Soul is going to be on the menu for today here. Rakan looking for some engage onto the Ezreal, but not quite going to get it. This is going to be interesting. What do you think is going to be the use? Ooh, hold on. Are we seeing something from the... No, just clearing some vision here. What are your thoughts?
close game so far. Neither team really able to push that advantage, but St. Clair College, this game is kind of a complete different game from what it was last game. Last game, it was your top lane was very fed, play around that. This game, the Xayah and the Wukong are your two big carries. The Syndra also very, very strong in that mid lane, picking up that Leandries. It's going to be doing so much damage, level 11 as well. So if she can just find Ezreal or Heimerdinger with one stun, that should be a kill. And the side of St. Clair College, I think their draft is looking way, way stronger, so much engaged. But the Zac is 2 levels up on this Fiora. She does pick up the Divine Sunder though, which is going to make these trades so much more in her favor. The Zac still doesn't have the Sunfire Cape because he did opt out for that Brambles Vest. So Fiora is going to be looking very good in this top lane now, maybe going to look for a solo kill, but those minions are just doing so much damage to her. She's forced to you know, tank those up because Zac just clears the wave while fighting you. That's why he's such an oppressive champ in this top lane. He will miss that Q, and the gank is coming through from Rakan here. But the thing is, Zac can just jump away. That's why it's not the greatest, but there's going to be the flash coming down. The Zac is still on 1 HP, but he's healing for so much. And the Ezreal should be able to pick up the Fiora here. Solitary skill, going to try and pull something crazy off here. There's going to be the Rakan W, but the Fiora will go down. The Rakan will go down as well. The Rift Herald will be taken here by Cambellsville University, and that might have just flipped the game on its head.
Yeah, I mean, that play in the top lane was, I mean, the start was good. Fiora knew what she was doing. She knew that she had her support coming up. Hold on here. We're going to see Heimerdinger sweating a little bit here. Does not want to take that fight.
Oh my goodness. The Sejuani ult misses by a mile. But that should secure them this Rift Herald. They're able to force out that Wukong ulti and flash. So St. Clair College looking pretty decent in this game, but that top side of the map is just looking really, really rough for them. Other than that, I think they're putting up a great fight here against Cambellsville University.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the Sejuani ultimate was aimed at the Raptors.
Maybe predicting a flash.
Yeah, well, no. The Raptors are a huge threat.
Okay.
Do you know how much damage Raptors do, man?
A lot of
if
damage.
you've played Elise one time, like, those things are terrifying, all right? I know there was this Nico bug running around not too long ago.
Where you could go AD and just one-shot everyone.
Well, you played AD and you turned into a Raptor. You just and it was terrifying.
It was good.
Yeah. Very, very scary stuff. But, yeah. So neutralizing the Raptors with that ultimate was the play. Very, very well executed on the side of Campbell. But here, as we can see, right, they got that Herald. So that's going to be a lot more pressure placed. Probably going to go mid lane, right, because that tower's still up. The Syndra on the side of St. Clair has been playing relatively well here on that neutral game, right? She hasn't gotten killed. She's gotten 2 assists. She has good farm. Granted, a little bit behind Rakan. Ah, yes, Rakan is in the mid lane. Oh, hold on here.
Onto the Xayah. They're able to force out both her ultimate and her flash, and that dragon being up in a minute 25 is a crucial cooldown for them. They also use the Rakan ultimate in the bot lane to try and find something, but the Jace playing it perfectly, able to back out in time. And now this dragon fight is one that Campbell University are going to be very happy to take. St. Clair College using kind of a couple ultimates and flashes just randomly. Not going to be too happy with how that one's turning out. Let's look at the fight in the top lane. This Fiora is doing so much damage to the Zac. Is she going to decide to use that ultimate? The Zac is going to decide to jump away and maybe just reset. And now this lane for Fiora is not looking very, very good. Zac can just go in, trade, jump out, reset, and just do that for the rest of the game with no threat because he is so far behind. Also, let's look at Sejuani's build. She's opting to not go for any boots. 2 full items, first one in the game. That's something crazy to see on a jungler. Speaking of crazy to see, look at this engage. They're able to pick up the Heimerdinger, but the Sejuani, as I just said, look how tanky she is. She's taking 0 damage, and they're going to be able to pick up that Wukong. The Zac's flying in, and this Rakan will go down shortly after. Has to be very, very careful around the Xayah here. It's going to be a 1 HP. The Sejuani does eventually fall, but the Syndra will fall in the ball, and the Ghost gets popped here by the Xayah. Will they be able to stun up this Ezreal? He will live on 1 HP. Everyone's such low health bars. And there's going to be the ultimate snipe onto the Rakan. Will find it. Now the dragon is up, and Cambellsville University should be able to pick that one up. So much crazy fighting going on there at the end of the day. it should be a dragon for Cambellsville, a team fight for them as well, and an advantage that they're going to look to take advantage of.
Well, I mean, they had us on the first half, and then all of a sudden, Campbell decided, you know what, we're gonna make this, we're gonna make this trade on our side. I mean, like, look at the gold lead now. Campbell's an entire 1,000 gold
steal?
ahead. Oh, wait, maybe looking for the steal here. Wukong is still attached, so his clone basically just served to pull him back. Not the brightest move.
They can't walk in though. Like Sejuani's coming back from base and this dragon will get finished off. Badrick Grimes trying to find a play here, but might have overstepped a little bit. Maybe not. Does have that Divine Sunder. Maybe will look to kill this Zac, but the rest of Campbell are in the lane. There's going to be the Ignite and the ultimate pop from the Zac, and look at that damage. Able to take out the Wukong. Now we're going to see the Jace up in the top lane against that Fiora, but this Zac just so far ahead. Feels like he has no damage, but those base stats, man, I'm telling you, this Zac champion's a bit too strong, in my opinion. The Syndra, look how little damage she does. That's a pretty fed Syndra with a Leandri's and a Rod. The Jace EQ isn't going to hit anybody, but he's going to be looking for the solo kill against the Fiora there. Also on 2 items, looking to finish off that tier to have that item complete. This Rift Herald should be able to get a crash in, but he is just autoing that Rakan. The crash is going to come through. Can they get the auto? They do. The crash doesn't get there, and the mid turret will stay standing. That's a very, very big kill there on the side of Rakan. But with this Ezreal Heimerdinger, they're able to get so much push. And look at that poke onto the Xayah. Also in the top lane, that's going to be a kill. Going over to St. Clair's. This Jace overstayed his welcome. Shut down for Fiora, maybe to get herself back into the game. But Cambellsville University are going to be taking mid lane turret here. And in the end, I think it's pretty good for St. Clair. That shutdown going over will give that Fiora a way back into this game.
Yeah, I know that shutdown is going to be huge. Fiora going to be able to put that side lane pressure now. With her Divine Sunderer. Know that there are 2 Divine Sunderers in this game going up against 2 tanks, right? So those Divines are really going to cut through those tanks, which is kind of a mistake that they didn't have in that.
Oh, big engage by the Wukong. He's going to get ignited up, exhausted. He will get one shot, and that was just a very, very weird engage. Feels like they didn't have the rest of the team there. The Xayah trying to do the damage, but this Sejuani is just tanking everything. And look at the Ezreal go. He gets a shutdown on the Xayah. The Syndra's on the flank, but the Heimerdinger is able to flush her stun. Will he go down? The ultimates will look to come out, but she won't be able to catch him. And that's going to be a 3-for-0 for the side of Cambellsville University. They might look to turn onto the dragon, but Heimerdinger not having that Leandri's won't be doing it as quick. So they're going to choose to take that mid tier 2. They're going to look to take the top tier 2, and there comes the Baron start.
Yeah, most definitely here a detrimental play to St. Clair's progression. They want to make sure that they are able to, well, essentially live through this, right? But St. Clair is not having a good time right now. They've lost last game, and now here, I mean, they have good itemization, right? They have the Wukong with the Divine Sunder, which is supposed to chop down that Sejuani and that Zac, but they're too far behind, right? I mean, the Zac is 3-0, the Sejuani is 3-1. The Ezreal is 6-2. You need damage to take out those tanks. If you don't have damage, you're not going to take out those tanks, right? So how do they come back from this?
I mean, the Xayah opted to go for the Storm Razor instead of the Kraken Slayer on that first item, and that's a big reason to it. If she had that Kraken Slayer, could burn through those tanks. Xayah known to be one of those champs that can just melt through whatever's in front of her, but she's going to be after getting that next, and I don't know if she can even get that item before the game ends. Soul is up in the minute 40, and Cambellsville University are going to be way stronger in these team fights. You can see that Fiora going for, I think, the same build as last game, but she's just so far behind. I don't think Hullbreaker is even the best purchase here, as the side of Cambellsville University just have so much tankiness, so much damage. This Jace is also on 2.5 items. He's going to be doing crazy damage with those EQs, but I think both teams are just taking their time and waiting for this dragon to spawn.
Yeah, here we can see that the Wukong actually opted for the Chemtech sword, which gives some anti-heal, which is going to be probably necessary considering how much healing the team has. Hold on here, we have a big fight in the bot lane. Wukong getting killed by Ezreal. Syndra going to get the kill onto the Heimerdinger though, so a little bit of a 1-for-1 there. But Fiora here trying to duel the Zac. Zac just saying, oh no, I'm not having it, not today, and leaving. Because
oh no.
Ooh, Jay's getting the pick on Rakan though. in the bot lane is definitely not what he wants to have happen.
Yeah, without a doubt. They're going to look to dive the Syndra as well. The flash will come through, but that is going to be so much damage coming out. And Fiora's also left on 1 HP in the top lane. Zac will chase that one down surely. And Cambellsville University are knocking on the doors of a sweep here. That the Q will hit, and this Fiora is just running for her life, but the inevitable is that she will drop. There's going to be the mid turret going down, and the Xayah will force the ultimate, but that Ezreal is just doing so much damage. Fiora is still alive in the top lane somehow. Zac not able to get on top of her, but meanwhile all of this is happening. Everyone from the side of St. Clair College is going down. The Fiora able to make it to lane somehow eventually through all of that. The Ezreal ult is going to come through, will miss, but now you can see the rest of Cambellsville University going to go over to that Fiora and look to pick her up. The EQ is dodged. The Sejuani will look to stun her up, and so much damage, but the Rakan is able to get a huge charm, and that's a shutdown for the side of St. Clair College. They could probably get the Zac here as well, but he is so tanky, level 16, refusing to take damage, able to kill the Fiora, 1 HP on the Rakan, only 1 turret left, 3 inhibitors have fallen. I think the Jace is going to TP back in here, and the side of Cambellsville University are going to look for the end. St. Clair College hanging on by their last thread, and it's going to be looking like the game will go on for a little bit longer, as that's going to be a huge EQ from the Jace, getting 1 auto, but not getting the kill. The ulti from Ezreal won't get it as well, and now I believe the side of Cambellsville University will make their way over to that dragon, take soul point, and look to finish off the game.
Yeah, as the Baron runs out, right, they don't have as much pushing power, so they're just going to leave that tower there, kind of just reset, take that dragon, or well, take that dragon, then reset. Get ready for the Baron that's coming up in 2 minutes, right?
I don't think it'll last that long.
You don't think it's going to last that long?
Triple inhibs?
True. Yeah, St. Clair's just going to have to wave flare, don't they?
Yeah. They won't even be able to contest the Baron if it comes to it, I believe. But look, triple inhibs, what are you supposed to do?
Wave flare?
Wave clear. But with a champ like Fiora on one of the lanes, that's not going to be the best clear. He does have that Ravenous Hydra, however, so that Tiamat going to help him out a little bit. But you could see the backs coming out from Cambellsville University. They're going to look to reload, and with a 10k gold lead soul secured, it's going to be a very hard fight to win for St. Clair College.
Yeah, that's a very big Zac, and
yeah.
Zac's kind of a hard champion to kill, because if you don't have anti-heal on him, he's just not dying.
Especially when he's higher level than your whole team.
Well, yeah, that too. I mean, level-wise, top lane is the one that has the highest available levels, right? But level 16 against, what, a level...
14.
14 Fiora, a level 13 Xayah, a level 15 Syndra.
He's not taking damage. The Fiora ult is going to get popped in the top, and Rothron, look at that damage. There's going to be the engage from the Rakan. He won't be able to hit much, but hits a lot. They're able to kill the Heimerdinger early, but so much sustain on the side of Campbell. They're going to be able to pick up the Rakan as well. They're going to one-shot the Xayah, and the Zac just tanking up the turret. This should be the game. They're going to be able to take down that Syndra and Fiora, a team ace for the side of Cambellsville University, and they will be able to take this one in a 2-0 sweep over St. Clair College Academy. It was pretty close in the early game, but Cambellsville University are your champions. They win the Varsity Plus Grand Finals of NACE, and they had a flawless season, performed very, very well, and they were able to take it in the end.
Yeah, here we had a very close early game, and then I think it's just their team fight, right? They have such a good team fight that St. Clair was just kind of caught lacking in that scenario. And when those picks started coming through in those team fights, and the team fights started going Campbell's way, they just kind of said, okay, well, what do we do now, right? And then eventually, all of a sudden, all 3 inhibs are gone, and now all you can do is wave clear, and you're kind of stuck with those problems, right? So from that point of view, St. Clair's kind of going to have to work to improve that side of where they were losing, and then eventually try their chance again next semester.
Yeah, they're a pretty new team, some new names, and they were able to gel so well together. And to make it to the finals is even a great achievement. Losing to a team like that is not, it's not like a bad defeat. They weren't upset or anything. They were the underdogs going against one of the strongest teams, and they just couldn't pull off today. But I'm sure they learned a lot, and they could take this game as valuable experience.
Yeah, and experience it will be, right? I mean, they will take everything. these guys are probably already on those replays trying to figure out what happened in both those games. I'm telling you right now, these guys are trying to learn what happened and say, okay, where did we lose? How did we lose? And how do we improve? How do we get past that problem and become better, right? Improving is pretty much like the whole goal of League of Legends, right? You play the game to improve and to get better, or you play like me and get up to some tomfoolery. But yeah, the point is, for higher level players, not me, the point of League of Legends is to improve, it's to learn to be the best, right? And how to do so. And the best way to do that is going into their replays and saying, all right, we lost to this team because this team is better than us. How do we beat them?
Yeah, and you're completely correct. They're going to look to improve, become better, and come back with more force. But that's going to wrap it up for us today. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors. We got Tim Hortons, Subway, HyperX, SRC, Alumni, and the SRC and St. Clair Alumni. I said it wrong. But we got SRC, St. Clair Alumni, Subway, HyperX, and Tim Hortons. Thank you to everyone in the back who made this possible. Who's back there? Do you have any idea?
We have Daniil, we have TJ, and
that's it.
That's it. We have 2 people at the back today. Not much.
All right. And then for tomorrow, we have 2 games tomorrow. We have Valorant and NACE Grand Finals, I believe, for our Varsity side, and then we have League of Legends again. So should be an exciting day tomorrow. Thank you for joining me here today. I've been your host, the Holy Juan, and
I am Gabriel, aka Blockbeat. So
follow our socials.
Yeah, follow the socials, and we will be seeing you guys in the next one. GG.
Thank you for watching.